We live, we in the building, tap it up. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, Young West 125th Street, Albany, New York. We are under command and during honor. We've been teaching this truth since 1969 that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are in fact the true biblical Jews of the Bible, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
This is the One West News Desk. We're going to be bringing out heavy news, breaking news, anytime it feels like breaking, you understand. You thumb?
It sounds right. Like I said, every week we always tell you we bring out little, national news, international news.
You got it still.
Still international news, just keeping our people abreast of what's going on all around, you know what I mean? And we giving you some local news too. This first topic, this first article that we want to bring out the Amazon. You understand? Amazon had a whole lot of difficulties going on with it. That's the that online site, right? Amazon online.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna get into this article. We're gonna see what's going on with Amazon, but it's a lot of things happening with America. America's breaking down from the inside out. You understand? And Amazon is not, can't get away. Everybody gets included in this. You understand? Let's drop this article right here.
I'll get it real quick. Let me make sure.
Everybody's on Amazon too with that internet service going down. People can't get what they want. Packages gonna be coming late. Listen, I ordered something through Amazon not too long ago, man. They went all through my package. My package came from China.
And not only that, but the server is used by other apps.
Right.
You understand? A lot of stuff is shut down recently. But we'll get into the article to get a little bit more clarity here.
Right.
All right, you want me to read this here?
Come.
Internet services outage leaves websites and apps lagging around the world. Amazon Web Services, a major provider of cloud hosting that underpins much of the web and every online tools, went offline because of a problem with one of its core database products. Go ahead, you got it.
Amazon.com said on Monday that the cloud computing unit at its data center in Northern Virginia had largely contained fallout from a widespread internet outage that caused turmoil among thousands of sites globally, including some of the web's most popular apps like Snapchat and Reddit. And Snapchat and Reddit is in a whole lot of different things, you understand? Amazon said it had fixed the underlying issues, but customers were complaining of lingering difficulties using services such as digital wallet, Venmo, and video calling site Zoom. Zoom was having a slow time too. Right. It's the largest internet disruption since last year's CrowdStrike malfunction, harming technology systems in hospitals, banks, and airports, highlighting the vulnerability of the world's interconnected technology. It was the second time in 4 years that online web systems, Northern Virginia cluster known as US East 1 contributed to a major internet meltdown. And that's the real major issue that the United States has been talking about, especially with the Cold War going on and things like that. A lot of these countries can infiltrate the United States because the United States has damn near everything, connected to the web. Even the way they turn in lights on, turning power on and off, all of that stuff is connected through the web. You understand? And a lot of these countries are realizing that America is really vulnerable. We all are vulnerable. You understand? Amazon did not address a query from Reuters beyond pointing to an online statement that said the matter had been fully mitigated. The problem stemmed from what is known as the domain system, the DNS, which prevented applications from finding the correct address for online web services. Dynamo DB API, a cloud database relied upon to store users' information and other critical data. You understand? And this is why a lot of that hacking be going on. People be losing their information. You understand? And this is the problem right here. America is one of the most vulnerable countries on the planet because everything that we got is some kind of way connected. Not to mention, look at the cars now.
So
Cars are even connected to the internet.
that's a computer on wheels now.
A computer on wheels, yeah. And anybody, and think about it, right? This is the thing that they were talking about maybe a couple of years ago when these cars started getting the internet's connections and things like that. Who knows who could take over and take control of your car while you're driving? You understand? I mean, that's a thought. You understand? And then not to mention, you can destroy a whole city, town, or country taking over something like that. Think about the accidents that can happen.
Yeah, that cloud stuff is dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
As you can see, they damn near shut down the whole goddamn grid. Let me get a little bit more on this article if I could.
Go ahead.
Website and services across the United States and around the world are struggling to recover Monday after a problem at Amazon website services left leading games, publishers, streaming platforms, and other apps unstable for millions of people. Now, this is the current state of information.
Right.
Is then they're shut down on the important day of the week. Monday, everybody's scrolling, everybody texting, everybody posting. It's hindered, you understand? AWS, a cloud hosting service that underpins much of the web and everyday online tools, went offline after 3 a.m. because of a problem with one of its core database products, the company said. Problems persisted Monday morning, according to the company. The outage affect users of sites ranging from Snapchat that you just mentioned, McDonald's. See, I was trying to get me a goddamn frappe earlier, and then they decided to sign 3 different times. I wondered what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
So like I was mentioning, it affects more than just Amazon. It's a lot of companies utilize this server to conduct business, including platform Roblox and Fortnite. It underlines the fragility of companies, including financial services that uses cloud-based. Also, what's that money at? I don't think it was Cash App was effect. I'm not sure, but Chime is another popular. You had a Chime app. I think Zelle was still good.
Okay.
But the company Chime had problems with the app today. That use cloud-based services to host their data, and how suddenly an unplanned outage can affect businesses around the globe. This can be utilized as a damn near cyber warfare if they don't get their act together.
So think about this though, right? Basically, every time you get something, they force you to register it online. They force you to put your information online. You understand? And that's the danger. And this is the reason why they keep talking about the danger of AI. You understand? Not only AI, but just like this happened, how easy would it be for people just to hack in and just tear stuff apart? Then you lose all of your information. Just think you losing all your information, then you lose your gas and electric off, your phone services off. I mean, think about everything that could possibly happen. You understand now? Not to mention, you're in a cold war with Russia, China, and Iran. Not even a cold war. You actually in a war with Russia, in a war with China, which is called the Cold War, and physically in a war with Iran. Through the proxy of Israel, of the Israelis. You understand? I mean, these countries don't have a problem with hacking. And think about all of the time they talked about, the Russians interfered with the voting a couple of years back. You understand what I'm saying? So now think about things happening now. You understand? Everything is connected through the internet, through the online service, and everything else that we do. There's nothing that's done by paper anymore. You understand? So we vulnerable as just citizens, as people living in America. I don't want to say citizens, You understand? But you understand why I'm saying that. But we vulnerable as just people being here. You understand? And the people that get hurt the most is us. You understand? We are the biggest losers. You understand? So it says, after more than 9 hours of disruptions, many applications were gradually coming back online in the afternoon in the U.S. But AWS acknowledged that elevated errors were still affecting several services. So this thing is still ongoing. This thing is not over yet. You understand? And the longer it goes on, the worse it's going to get. You understand? Think about, I mean, everything is done online. I mean, think about even in you watching TV, would that be 95% of everybody is online just by the television alone? Because you have to have internet damn now.
You do online as soon as you wake up, first thing you do, grab your phone.
Exactly.
I'm checking this out. Also, Corel said, issues on his banking app.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of apps, a lot of things that you runs through this particular service. So a lot of things are shut down today.
Right.
So that's why you had a lot of bugs on your phone this morning.
And I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't let me log into my bank account.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly where it was.
You understand? I had to keep doing it, and then eventually I got to get in. You understand what I'm saying? And I didn't even realize that. I didn't even think about it because it's so natural now being online that we don't even realize that. You see the issue right here. I didn't even think about, damn, that was where it came from. You understand what I'm saying? It took me so long to get in and to make sure that, my things got paid and stuff. And then everything.
Everything online. Also, this I know a lot of people probably had to walk in a bank today.
Yeah.
I mean, so you had to transfer something or, send something off. You couldn't do it on your phone. But Tom said, let's get to a different story.
I didn't even think about that. Damn.
For Tom said, we're going to get to a different story here.
Right.
And again, why is this important? Because you're not going to see this. They're not going to feed you international news on your timeline. Right. And your algorithm. You know what I'm saying? They're going to give you Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Right. They're going to give you a school fighting video. They're going to give you a bunch of they call it brain rot.
Yeah. So
come here for your weekly dose of what's going on in the earth. You understand?
Right.
And also our other radio shows. But let's get some more news here. Anything else that you wanted to cover?
Yeah, I'm ready to cover the one with the Trump and the Secret Service of that shooter stand that they found.
Let's end on that.
Okay.
But until then, let's get this article here. Share this screen there. Okay.
What do we got?
So you can.
Okay. UK royal faces pressure to strip Prince Andrew of his title after new revelations about his Epstein ties.
They running away with it. Yeah, something.
But this is when Epstein first got locked up. Mm-hmm. This is something that they pulled out the first. He was one of the first names that came out when the Epstein files when Epstein first got locked up.
He was on the hot seat.
Yeah, he was already on the hot seat.
And the international news or news in general, they've been trying to bury this, but this ain't going away.
Right.
This ain't going away. Matter of fact, in the next story we're gonna bring up, I forgot to say her damn name already. How you say that lady name? Iglesias, hold on.
Adelita
Rahowa, the Congresswoman.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. It's gonna tie into it.
Rahowa. Yeah.
It's gonna tie. Hold on, it's a damn mouse. Let me get back to the run line. Oh, yeah, I'm right here. So you see that better? Yeah. All right, let's go.
Okay, AP, he won't call himself a Duke anymore. But that is not enough for many of Prince Andrew's critics. Buckingham Palace and the British government were under pressure Monday to formally strip Prince Andrew of his princely title and sumptuous home after new revelations about his relationship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
Right. Listen, they're not calling to arrest him. They just want his title gone.
Right.
Now, I can't wait till these goddamn files come out, man. To see who on the in the Senate, in Congress, other politicians, powerful,
Yep.
other people in power. We want to see people arrested. That's what we want to see. The hell was standing down, getting fired, damn near. He getting fired for being a goddamn scumbag. You know what I mean? A sexual predator.
Right.
I don't understand why this society continues to protect, sexual predators.
It's just part of their culture. You understand? They can't help but protect. We understand unrighteousness, really. After discussions with his elder brother, King Charles III, Andrew agreed on Friday to stop using titles, including Duke of York.
Listen, it's damn near an admission of guilt.
Right.
Why are you stepping down from your title and your duties if you have nothing to do with Epstein?
Right.
If he wasn't on the island, it's damn near an admission of guilt. You understand?
It's something.
Go ahead. There's something going on. Go ahead.
It was the latest efforts to insulate the monarchy from years of tardy headlines about Andrew's suspicious business deals, inappropriate behavior, and controversial friendships.
That's a clever way to say F-air.
Right.
Inappropriate behavior. Are you kidding me? Right. They got to be clever with the way they word things. Inappropriate behavior. He was on the goddamn island S-aing children.
Right.
Inappropriate behavior. Come on.
But he still technically holds the title of Duke bestowed by his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II. And as the son of monarchs, he remains a prince.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew's statement relinquishing some of his royal title came after emails emerged showing he had remained in contact with Epstein longer than he previously admitted.
So he lied to the media saying he cut off access and communication with Epstein at that particular time.
Right.
Now they got the text. Now they got the screenshots. Go ahead.
And days before publication of a posthumous memoir by Epstein's accuser, Virginia Roberts,
Testing right here now.
That hit the camera. Yeah, bro, yeah.
My bad. We went out for a second. We back live. But that's why it's so important to be plugged in. And that's why her being sworn in is gonna, dang, what the hell? Her being sworn in is gonna open up so many doors in this case, you understand?
Right.
They're not going. That's not going to be on your TikTok feed. You understand? That ain't going to be on your Facebook feed. Get plugged into what's going on internationally,
Right.
nationally,
Yeah.
because it affects you and affects the narrative. You understand?
I wonder how many people will resign from that.
I wonder
If that happens.
I wonder how many people going to get
Arrested. Listen, but Trump allowed Santos to let him out. So he let the the Capitol, January 6th,
right? Them.
Terrorists, he let them go. So I mean, I believe on his side of the aisle, on the Republican side, I believe he would let them go.
Kind of.
And I think he would let them sit until the next president comes in, and if they decide to let him go, if it's not a Republican.
System, right? I'm gonna open this up.
It's still,
It's okay.
Okay, here now.
Yeah, they can do it. They should be able to. But we got some more here. Yeah, pull up some Israel stuff.
Some which one?
Israel.
Israel.
I got Algiers.
Okay, Al Jazeera. Oh yeah, they done did a whole lot of stuff.
Update: Israel launches a wave of airstrikes on Gaza as truce teeters. I mean, everybody saw this coming. This ain't a shocking discovery, because the heart of the goddamn of Esau. The heart of Esau.
Right.
He don't take any treaty or any agreement seriously. He always backs up. That's his nature. That's his game. Ceasefire may collapse as Israel blocks aid at scale into Gaza. A U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff, Trump's son-in-law advisor Jared Kushner, and Vice President J.D. Vance intended to make the ceasefire work. They will have to demand that Israeli authorities abide by the deal and allow more aid into Gaza. And analysts said,
listen, but everybody knew this. Like they said this months ago, that the Israelis was going to find a way to break the ceasefire. And this is just what they're doing. And then what they do is they pass the blame onto Hamas. You understand? And they're talking about, I was watching it this morning, they was talking about how the Israelis rolled over an unexploded munition and it blew up. And then they blamed it on Hamas and then started bombing back at Hamas. You understand? So a lot of these things that they already knew was going to go on. They already know how the Israelis are. They know they're going to break the ceasefire. They've done it the last 4 times.
Uh-huh.
Every time a ceasefire comes up, they break the ceasefire. It's part of their DNA. This is just what they do. You understand? And war is in their heart. I mean, let's just face it. We keep thinking that something different is going to come of these people, that something is going to be a different outcome, but it's always going to be the same outcome.
God.
This is just how they made like that.
God, listen, they're not getting pulled out of this war anyway.
Right.
Everybody's getting pulled into this.
Right.
It's calling. We're going to cover some more. Everybody's calling for a ceasefire. Everybody calling for the wars to stop. And really, everything is intensified.
Right.
Russia with Ukraine. China's going to get pulled into the fight. especially with what's going on in North Korea and South Korea.
Right.
We didn't even hear about that. It's like, this is international news, so you're not going to hear much. But they all going to push all that brainwashing on us, though.
Right. And again,
Somebody say Nicki Minaj and Cardi B one more time, I'm going to lose it. You understand? Go ahead, you have something?
that was great. Say, listen, it goes all into the internet and what they allow us to hear and see. You understand? Because they want to keep us under that propaganda loop. They want us to believe that, it's these other countries when in fact America has the power. And everything that is happening is being caused by America. America, I'm gonna hold that because I got that. I got that.
That's why Benjamin Netanyahu said the biggest fight was TikTok.
Right.
He said this. He said his biggest fight and his biggest accomplishment in the recent months was having control over TikTok. America's control over this particular source of media.
Right.
This is where a lot of people get their information from.
Yeah.
TikTok, man. You know what I mean? Social media, Facebook, Meta.
And now that's blacked out.
And now they gotta control that. They gotta control the narrative. So you gotta go through back doors to see what's going on in Oregon.
Right.
You gotta go through back doors to see what's going on in Chicago. You gotta follow certain people. You gotta go to certain people. It ain't in your face. It ain't on the mainstream platform. Even yesterday's marches.
Right.
I mean, this weekend's the
marches.
Yeah, what's it called? The No Kings protest.
Right.
It wasn't really. I mean, we're talking about millions of people protesting, and there's hardly any coverage. I'm talking about Fox News, NBC, all of them. I mean, it's like it came and went like nothing happened, no effect.
Think about this too, right? You know where when you hit Pikesville, Wrightstown Road, Pikesville, they was lined up almost from the Lenny's, that little shopping center, all the way down the hill to where the little Mini Cooper spot is on both sides. It was flooded. It was flooded. When you went over, it looked like it looked on TV. That's how it looked going down that hill and back up.
Now imagine I listen to the radio every day. Ain't nobody saying nothing.
Nothing.
98 Rock ain't saying nothing. Okay.
Well, what we're getting paid by? They get paid to not speak, not give you the news, not let you know what's going on. And this is the reason why we bring you this news the way we do, because especially as Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives, we are always the last people to find out what's going on. And I always tell people, if you look at that war that's going on in Ukraine, those Ukrainians was the last people to find out that war was about to happen. The day before that war happened, they was out shopping, going to the movies. They was doing everything that they do every day. And then the bombs hit. Well, this is how we look in America. A lot of us don't even understand that we already in World War III. And we are the only people that don't know it. This is the reason why you see all of these oppressors out there hunting and teaching their children everything, gathering food, storing up stuff like that, because they know what's about to happen. They know what's coming. We're the only one out there doing booty videos, shaking, doing challenges and things like that. And this is the reason why we always fail at everything that we do, because we are the last ones to find out when anything happens. That's why we bring you news the way we do.
Listen, you gotta be plugged in. And Commander Gianna for months been saying what? Stock up.
Yep.
Stock up. Make sure you got this. Make sure you got that. Prepare.
It's a lot.
Now look,
if I may,
next month, November, food stamps getting cut off. And Commander Gianna been telling you for months, get that deep freezer full, get them canned goods full. Government shutdown, cutting off stamps.
Yeah.
Although our oppressor is the one that gets the most of the benefits, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are going to be affected by it. How is that? because the food banks is going to be flooded with Edomites.
Yep.
We get denied the service, so we got to go to the food bank.
Right.
Now, the first come, first serve, going to be a line of Edomites where you can, you know what I'm saying? At the food bank.
It's a lot here, if I make sense.
Mm-hmm.
He's been saying that since January 6th.
Come on.
He's been saying that since January 6th to stock up.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare yourself. He's been telling us to stock up on water, stock up on canned goods,
Okay.
stock up on everything that you can.
Come on.
You understand? Stock up on paper goods and all of that type of stuff. You understand? And especially water, because that's going to be the first thing to go. When the rubber hit the road, the first thing going to be gone is the water. If you out of water, you out of luck.
Come on.
That's it. That's ball game. You know, and it's amazing that he said that back then. And look at what's going on now. You see the internet. The internet is fragile. You understand? It's shaky. So just imagine that. You know what I mean? Just imagine anything and everything will happen. And we're going to be the last. Listen, if you're listening to this right now, you won't be the last to find out.
These wars is wrapping up. It ain't no ceasefire. It ain't no end of this war. This is the last war. This is the third war, as the scripture said.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Everybody going to be drunk into this fight. So, prepare, get right with the Lord. You understand?
Yeah.
Go up in His truth. Right up some of Israel. Now you had a story.
That one was Trump with the let me grab that. Some of that. Shooter stand in it right off of there. You got that? Yeah, that's it. Right there. With the sight line. Trump's Air Force One. You know, when Trump first came into office, right? What was his claim?
Makes America great.
It's make America great. But the claim that he won on the most was to stop all the wars. Come up out of all the wars, right? And the first thing when he was running, and
he said day one,
right?
No more wars. That's what he said.
Right.
Go ahead.
But remember, as he was running, he got nipped in the ear with the saying the first time, right? Then they caught the dude on the side of the golf course, right? And then I want to fast forward to this thing with Charlie Kirk, right? Not to talk about Charlie Kirk, but when somebody trying to keep you in line, they let a few things happen, and then they let a big thing happen like this. So now this thing right here happens. So he remembers the Charlie Kirk thing.
Not saying it's a conspiracy
theory. But what I'm saying is
they'll use these events to line up a particular propaganda,
and then they'll get you to do. So he ran on. He was going to stop the wars. Remember, Trump, in a sense, has always been against wars, right? Remember, he ducked the allegedly, right? But ever since, especially with the Charlie Kirk thing happening, now he letting them do what they want to do. Let them war, or we're going to have to go in and destroy Hamas. You understand? Now is let the wars happen. A lot of times they can sway you in different ways and make you go the way that they want you to go. Propaganda. You understand? And they using. I can't really say that they using propaganda, because just like you said, it's in their heart to be the way that they are. It's in their heart to be like that.
They never intended to. I mean, Gaza is gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. It's like, what are they returning back to?
Listen, that's like a sand pit. It's like a sand pit now.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's demolished. It's a demolished territory.
And it's destroyed.
And listen, like regardless of the so-called ceasefire or not, They did exactly what they set out to do.
Yep.
They did exactly what they set out to do, and also this, you didn't create enemies. The whole earth is a damn near against the Israelis.
Yep.
And it's coming soon. That more international turmoil in that region of the world. Iran, Saudi Arabia is going to get in the fight. Believe it or not, and get this out of your head. Allies this and allies that. Was written is written. Was written in that book is written.
Right.
So don't get hung up on what allies this and who allies are who. Everybody getting dragged into this fight now. Everybody dragged into the fight. But no, you want to get to this?
Yeah.
FBI
investigates hunting stand with sightline to Trump's Air Force One exit area at Palm Beach Airport.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Trump CIA having a bad year, man.
Yeah.
I mean, damn it, he got shot. First of all, he got shot.
Do you think they having a bad year, or you think they doing their job?
I don't know if they doing their job or what.
No. Listen, what I'm saying is, we think they having a bad year, but to me, it looks like this is what's supposed to be happening.
More or less. But this is what I'm saying. They ain't on a JOB.
Yeah.
How the hell is she got a goddamn? It's damn near. It looked like a goddamn deer stand. Have you ever seen a deer stand out in the woods?
Right.
Or you ever been hunting? It looked like he just propped up there. How the hell do you even get close enough for this to even happen? You understand? Could it be propaganda? Could it be a conspiracy? I don't know. Mm-hmm. But you're talking about you're supposed to be the top military, the top in defense, the tip of the top of the spear as far as defense goes.
Right.
And this guy got a goddamn deer stand outside of airport. Come on. I mean, I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
With a 37 bolt action, old gun.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
The U.S. Secret Service uncovered a suspicious hunting stand with a direct line of sight to where President Donald Trump exit Air Force One at the Palm Beach International Airport, officials told Fox News Digital.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Good.
How did they find that deer stand?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not understanding that now, because a lot of times, if they got a deer stand up, it's got to be 200, maybe 300 yards away, right? You got an airfield, and then you have nothing but woods around that right there. What made them go 200, maybe 300 yards away?
Probably in a detail. Probably in a detail. Anyway.
Okay. I'm just saying, it's just kind of funny.
Agents found the stand on Thursday, and the FBI is now leading an investigation into the discovery. FBI Director Kash Patel said the hunting stand has not yet been connected to any individual. Prior to the president's return to West Palm Beach, USS discovered what appeared to be an elevated hunting stand within sightline of the Air Force One landing zone. Patel told Fox News Digital no individuals were located at the scene. The FBI has since taken the investigators, I'm not an English major, led flying in resources to collect all evidence from the scene and deploying our cell phone analytics capabilities. All right. You want to get some more, or that's pretty much the gist of it?
Yeah, that's the gist of it right there.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody tried to take this man out, man.
Yeah.
It sounds like Trump got some enemies out there, right?
Right.
Come on, man. Gotta wake that up. That's it on that. I want to get this one story with North Korea. Yeah, real quick.
I missed that.
And then I got then we got some more news after that also. Let's get this in.
Drones, threats, and explosions while Korean tensions are rising.
And we got Korea, and like I said, everybody, and when you think Korea, don't just think them secluded, just North Korea, South Korea at all.
Right,
Both of these countries got allies.
right.
So what does that mean? America can get in the fight, the US can get in the fight, and who else?
Russia.
China can get in the fight. Russia is buddied up with North Korea. That's what I'm saying. Everybody is getting tied into this thing.
Right.
Let's go.
North Korea has accused South Korea of flying drones into its capital, ratcheting up the tensions that have been simmering for months.
Oh,
The drones allegedly scattered propaganda leaflets over Pyongyang in what the North described as a provocation that could lead to the armed conflict and even war.
and even war. Yeah, that. It's not like more wars coming into the earth.
Yeah,
What the scriptures say, wars and rumors of war. That is what's happening right here in the earth.
right.
Rumors of Thailand, not Thailand, what's the Taiwan and China.
Yeah, Taiwan and China. That's what, and there's a whole lot of connections with that. Yeah, there's a whole lot of propaganda going on with that.
And y'all heard Qatar. I didn't even get that story. Maybe y'all talk
Qatar is that's what the Israelis bombed. I mean, you know, they're supposed to be an ally with the United States.
Come on, they gotta.
That's supposed to be
I
a
gotta get
connection.
this. I'm gonna get it. Let's read this first, and then I'm gonna get views on Qatar.
Okay. After leveling these allegations at the South on Friday, Pyongyang said it had ordered border troops to be prepared to fire. South Korea, in turn, said it was ready to respond and warned that if the safety of its citizens was threatened, it would signal the end of the North Korean regime.
Come on, bro.
And listen, this is
Heating
crazy
up,
because
Heating up.
just 3 years ago, they shook hands as a peace agreement. Remember that? Remember when Trump walked across from the south side to the north side?
It was a good thing.
It was a big thing.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? So this is the way it's supposed to be. You understand? It's supposed to be odds because everybody's supposed to get dragged in on this. All right, then on Tuesday, the North blew up sections of 2 roads that connected it to the South Korea, making good on an earlier threat. The next day, it claimed that 1.4 million young North Koreans had applied to join or return to the army. Wow. And listen, that's a 1.4 million. 1.4 million. You know, America doesn't have 1.4 million in their Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine. Just about. That's the Army, Air Force, Navy, and Marine. Damn, that's a lot of enlistment.
Now we ain't got a lot of time to get the whole joint, but
Hey, listen,
it's cooking up.
this is everybody rubbing everybody the wrong way. Hey, listen, North Korea is set with Russia and China. South Korea is set with America, Great Britain, the UK and all of them. You understand? The European Union. You understand? And this is the crazy thing, right? America caused Korea to be separated into a North and a South. America's propaganda is what caused North Korea to be split in two. And when you see countries that are split in two, when you know, just like India and Pakistan, that was one country. America destroyed and propagandized India and broke India into India and Pakistan. This is the reason why you have a lot of these countries that are broken up into two. Iran and Iraq. Look at that. You understand what I'm saying? And they had a thing in the Brookings Institute of how they wanted to destroy 5 nations in 7 years. Iran and Iraq was on there with Syria and a couple of other countries too. You understand? We have to understand that a lot of the information that we get from the United States is propaganda. This is what America has been built on. right after World War One, this is when the propaganda machine began. You understand what I'm saying? And we gotta, just like you said, we gotta come to a place right here where we can get proper information and we can be up on what's really going on in this world. Because like I said again, we are the only people that really don't understand that we're in the midst of World War III already. You know, listen, it's on and popping. I mean, if y'all want to be out there shaking y'all booties and, you know, doing challenges and stuff like that, getting cracked over the head, man, you can't say we didn't tell you. You understand? We can't say we didn't try to put you up on what's really happening. You understand?
Let's get the bigger picture here. Let's get the bigger picture here on this article. What is the big picture? The two Koreas are technically still at war since they did not sign the peace treaty when the Korean War ended in 1953. Reuniting with the South had always been a key, if increasingly unrealistic, part of the North's ideology, Salakia, since the inception of the state, until Kim abandoned reunification with the South in January. Kim has brought North Korea closer to Russia under Vladimir Putin, which you meant, like we mentioned earlier,
Right.
placing him at odds with the U.S. and the West. And we just said this a second ago.
We just said that. Yeah.
Which are South Korea's key allies.
Right.
You see how everybody, and then they got China down there. Hold on. Also, I did not read this entire. We mentioned this just seconds ago.
Right.
Also significant. Sorry. Also significant are North Korea's long-standing ties with China, arguably its most important ally.
Right.
In the wake of the drone incident, a spokesman from China's foreign ministry on Tuesday called on all parties to avoid further escalation of conflicts on the peninsula. Come on, bro. So, come on.
So now we got that with the North and South Koreans, right? Now, remember 3 months ago what happened in Pakistan, right? And the bombing in Pakistan happened and they blamed it on India. And then they started warring back and forth with each other in the middle of what's the little tiny space that both of them got a piece of right in the middle.
It's like the mountains right there.
But it's a small little country right there that they both got a piece of, that they battled at. Now they stopped it. They came to an agreement, but again, when they sent those drones over into Pakistan, and this is what I kept saying, right? India kept saying they didn't do it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was another propaganda move by America to get those two countries to war with each other, because you know both of them are nuclear powers. Both of them have nukes. So if you knock India off, remember India is part of the BRICS, and they are a major player in the part of BRICS, along with Russia, China, South Africa, and what's the other one? This Russia, Brazil. You understand? So all of those countries that started that BRICS, what the United States is trying to do is get these countries to break up, to destroy the economy, or the new so-called world order that the BRICS is trying to develop. You understand? And in trying to develop that, what that does is that puts America in the backseat. America's no longer the driver if all of this stuff goes through. And this is the reason why America is at war with Russia through the proxy of the Ukrainians. They are at war with China, which is the Cold War, and they are at war with Iran through proxy of the Israelis. You understand? They had 3 wars at the same time. America is with those 3 countries, and those are 3 major players in that BRICS situation. You understand? I want to thank that Corral come, because he the one that really brought that BRICS thing out a couple of years back. That's what got me on that right there. So he was already on that. So yeah, and this is, you know, it's we got brothers that we into a little bit of everything, so we get connected on all arms. You understand what I'm saying? So we get if one of us don't got it, one of us gonna have it. You know what I mean? So I want to say big up to Corral come on that. Definitely.
Look, I'll drop this. I want to get to the Qatar thing real quick.
Okay, did you
And
pull that?
then,
Okay, here we go right here.
and go. I mean, it says bad stuff, so they are dead.
Talk.
All right, folks. Oh, there we go. This is on AirForceTime.com. Air Force, Qatar Air Force facility in Idaho, in the works for years. Listen, they was in an uproar online about this when this came out. It may not hit y'all timeline because the algorithm, but this is what's going on in the earth.
This is new one for me right here.
The Defense Secretary announcement that the United States would allow Qatar to build an Air Force facility in Idaho was in the works for years and mirrors accommodations made for a handful of other allies in the country, a U.S. Air Force spokesman told Military Times on Tuesday. This is the first foreign military base in America.
You know what's crazy?
Come on, man.
After 800 military bases all over the globe, America has finally let somebody put a military base in America, or plan to let somebody put a military base in America. I believe, and this is just me, this is not the UPK.
Don't even say it. I'm just saying, I can say this though. This is the start of, it's already the start of World War III. Well, this can have catastrophe written all over.
Yeah.
You putting 4 entities in military grade equipment on U.S. soil.
Right.
That doesn't sound like a disaster to you?
It does.
So you about to mention something?
Yeah, because just like you said, that's what I was going to say, right? That's a disaster waiting to happen. How do you, all right, listen, everybody sees what America does when they enter and they place military bases in other countries. They automatically, naturally, they take over. You understand? So if you allow, you said 4 different entities to come into America and put military bases. Think about this, right? We already have a hard time with these other nations of people coming into our communities and destroying our communities, period. Now you're going to allow a whole military force to place a military base in America. I'm trying to figure out, like, what is going through the minds of the so-called leaders of America to allow somebody to come in and do what they've been doing all over the earth, seeing what they've been doing all over the earth.
Gotta be some type of end game, some type of game. I don't know if it's oil, I don't know if it's weapons, I don't know if it's what it is.
Well, the foothold of the Israelis in the Middle East is the oil that they're trying to get from Syria and Lebanon, right? That's the end game right there, because they also, remember a few years back, they found out that Gaza was sitting on oil reserves. And this is the reason why they wanted to take over the Gaza Strip. So you got oil reserves sitting. This is the reason why they say they won't pull out of Gaza. And this is the reason why they said they want to bring in military forces to rule over Gaza. You understand? It's not just by happenstance that they leveled it to the ground in the way that they did. They made it unlivable on purpose so that they could come in and do what they wanted to do. So I'm wondering, right? And this is the thing, right? It's got to be. You said it's got to be an end game to this for them. I never even saw that. That's a new one right there.
Listen, they let some news be slipping out here and there. You got to catch it.
Yeah,
You got to catch it. That's why.
definitely. Because I never listen.
Yeah.
I never would have called that though. A military.
Come on, and I think I'm not sure, but this may have some type of ties with Saudi. You know, Saudi Arabia is right next to Qatar.
Yeah, and you know, Saudi Arabia is an ally of America too.
Mhm.
That's what do they call it when you using a nation?
Proxy.
Yes, a proxy. That's what a proxy, but a vassal state.
Okay.
So Saudi Arabia has always been a vassal state to the United States. Remember when Trump went over to Saudi Arabia and he was dancing and they had the swords and everything? That's where he was at, Saudi Arabia. That's why everybody was laughing and said, "Oh, he over there having a good time over there," because that's one of those vassal states that the United States actually owns just about, because they have so many they have so much invested in America. They own property in it. Saudi Arabia owns property in America. They have so much gold reserves stashed in America that they can only follow and do what America says, because if they don't, America will do the same thing that they did to Russia with that $300 billion that they had of Russia's reserves that they had over here. They'll take it.
Okay.
So they're doing everything that they can to accommodate America, because America kind of, in a sense, got them by the balls. You understand what I'm saying?
And don't get caught up in that ally talk.
Right.
All that ally talk will get thrown out the window real soon.
Yep.
Real soon. Everybody will be picking a side.
Think about this too, right? Just like you said, Cap, they never really call those nations that are with them allies. These are vassal states. These are states that do what America commands because America sanctions whoever's on their side. And this is how America controls most of the nations.
Or they'll sanction whoever's not on it.
No, but they use those sanctions just like they did the European Union. They sanctioned them too. They sanctioned them to the point where they said, okay, we'll give up 5%.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about a different word.
Yeah, but the sanctions is what America uses to control the nations that are with them and the ones that are not with them. They put the sanctions mostly on the nations that are not with them.
They rule out of fear.
Yeah.
No, America is not a moral nation.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody on their side, because they don't want to be the ones to get the Moab one.
Right.
They don't want to be the one to get nuked.
Right.
They don't want the Marines coming in on their nation. They're not on their side because they're a moral nation.
Right.
That's why everybody is so slow to come up against who? Israel, the Israelis.
Israelis, right.
Everybody's been slow. We're gonna go through all this process in the international courts, and so everybody sees who the evil men are.
Right.
Who the evil people are. The United States has been doing the same thing in Iraq, bombing the hell out of them. The propaganda. We don't see that the news in other nations. America was doing absolutely wicked madness in Afghanistan, Iraq, and all of the Arab nations.
Right.
It just wasn't on full display. It's a lot.
Yeah. And now we're seeing America rules with an iron fist. And if you look at what America's doing in America right now, how do you, this is basically what we're sitting in right now, and what we're looking at in America is a military state, a state ruled by the military. When you look at your police force, the way the police force rules is a military rule. And now you send it in the military. Now you bring it in the National Guard. All of this. This is a military state. This state has nothing to do and everything to do with democracy. Now I'm gonna understand. You got to listen to what I'm saying, right? Democracy has always been a military state rulership. Even back in Greece and Athens, they always ruled with the military. If the people begin to get out of line, they always bring military forces in. This is just the way democracies are. Democracies are spread just like Christianity is spread. It's spread by the sword. It's no different. We keep allowing them to make us believe that a democracy is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but it is not.
And it's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse. It has to get worse. You understand? And we keep thinking that a democracy, well, we got to get back to a democratic system. This is a democratic system. This is how it works.
It failed.
Yeah.
It failed terribly. And you don't need America. Listen, these goddamn devils. You don't even follow your own rules.
Right.
That's why these goddamn devils, these so-called patriots, they up in the tizzy. Why? Because they don't even follow their own rules.
Not at all. Not at all.
They called the No Cage protest what? A hate America rally. When you have the right to protest, they called the American thing to do a hate America rally.
You know what's crazy?
And we're not on either side of the rally or whatever.
No,
we're not a part of none of that stuff. But I'm saying, just look at the narrative that they try to paint each other as.
Right.
This democracy is a joke.
We just trying to make a point, show a point, right? When you think about it, right? They say this country was built on free speech, right? But as soon as you speak something, you get shut out. And you get shut out.
There's no free speech.
It's no such thing as free speech in America. When they control the internet, the airwaves, when they control the news and what you hear, what you see, that's not a free state. That's a military state. When they think about it, right? They got ICE now running around just grabbing everybody. They got them grabbing black people now. Mm-hmm. ICE is grabbing black people now. So tell me, are we in a free state or are we in a military state? Understand what a military state is. A military state is a rulership by the military.
And listen, you mentioned this earlier too. It's always been a military state.
It's always been.
They just got a different type of badge.
Yep.
Was they not locking up black people for no reason? Jamming us up, pulling us in the alley, beating us up?
Exactly.
They just put a military uniform on.
Yep.
They just gave them this badge. You're going to take this badge off the head. You're going to put it right here. We're gonna give you authority over here and you over there. That's how you know the so-called who the tribes is.
Right.
I ain't seen no Asian get hemmed up yet.
And we got Asians on every corner.
And they are the number one immigrants
in America.
Are Asians. So-called East Indians. All of that's Asian. That's a part of Asia too.
Mm-hmm.
Are Asians. And number one, nobody's talking about getting rid of the Asians. It's only particular people that are being targeted.
Yeah.
You understand? They just gave my ice badge now. Yeah. Before it was back to blue. It's just a different name on a military.
Right.
Targeting black folk, targeting Hispanic folk, targeting Native Indian folk.
Yep.
First Nation folk. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's a lot. Just to add on what you were saying earlier.
Said you see the young dude on the news this morning, right? He's a black kid. He said just graduated. ICE ran up on him and grabbed him and had him in custody for about 3 or 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
From here.
Somebody in the chat said, are you Jews? We the real Jews. The real Jews are blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Those are the real true Jews of the Bible.
That's right.
We make up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel.
That's right.
You understand? But
yeah, but they had him in custody for about 3 or 4 hours. You understand what I'm saying? And just like they're talking about, they jumping on black. Think about what they just did in Chicago. Went up into those buildings in Chicago and had all of the people outside standing in line and zip tied. ICE? Come on now. ICE? Oh man, this is getting ridiculous. But listen, we here to let our people know this is what's happening. This is the way we need to go. We got to stop listening to, you understand, all of the propaganda that's been given to us. We got to stop believing in America. America is not, listen, all of the laws that have been created in America have been created for us, not for the oppressor, not for these other nations of people. It's to keep us in line. You understand what I'm saying? All of these other nations, they break law every day. But just like Cap said, you don't see them running up into the Asian spots, pulling the Asians out. All of those Asians you hear speaking, they can't even speak English back there, cooking food back there. The East Indians, the number 2 illegal immigrants in America, but I don't see them kicking them out. I don't see them running up in Dunkin' Donuts, pulling them from behind the counters, do you? Making frappes and all of that, do you? No, you don't. But you do see them in the projects in Chicago, hemming our people up. You do see them on the streets of out in urban neighborhoods, hemming our people up. I mean, how do you hem up Native Americans? You know these people are here, but you hemming them up. How is that? Because these rules are not created for the people that they say it's created for. It's created for us. They really going after now. They going after the people that they really want to go after. Just like Cap said, they going after who they really want to go after now, and that's us. 12 tribes of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. You understand? The true biblical Jews of the Bible. We are those people. Think about it, right? If you really think about it, why are we the only people that all of these things are happening to? You got all of the nations over here, but you don't see them jumping on these people. You don't see them locking these people up. Think about it, right? Every so often, every so many months, you hear about somebody getting released from prison that been locked up for 40 years unjustly. Mm-hmm. That don't happen to the East Indians. That don't happen to the Asians. That don't happen to the Arabs. That don't happen to the Africans. And we listen.
It don't happen to the oppressor.
It don't happen to the oppressor. We got to start recognizing who we truly are. And we got to start operating as a family. We got to start sticking together. We got to start understanding one another, coming together under one accord. You understand? Every time we come together, everybody wants to do their own thing. We got to come together under one accord. We got to understand that these people hate us. Now think about this, right? We had an article a couple of weeks ago where those oppressors got 160 acres of property to build an all-white community. We getting upset about that. We should be happy about that, because at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, they're going to be destroying each other. We should be thinking about moving away from them and building our own community in the same way. You understand? I believe Command General Yohan is already on top of that. You understand?
Look, we'll be back here next Monday. This is the One West News Desk. Every Monday, 6 o'clock, 6 to 7. Bring you all the news. Any breaking news, anytime it feels like breaking. Local, national, and international news here.
Right.
On the One West News Desk. The water, for sure.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're One West. They're One West. They're One West. They're